It's a jungle in here. It's a jungle out there. Buenos dias, mi gente. It's Carter Rodriguez for Avanza Latino. I'm here in the wee hours of the morning in Seattle, Washington. I'm a night owl, people. There's some mayhem going on out there. I love the middle of the night when everybody's asleep and nobody's scurrying around making noise and causing traffic. Welcome to Avanza Latino. Go to avanzalatino.org and look at all the cool things we have on the website. A lot of cool videos, and maybe you could donate. Maybe you can help. Give us $5. Give yourself $5. Help us help you with $100, $1, $10, $100,000, $350,000, $3.50. Whatever you can do. I got a little vocal fry. I was singing today. I got a band. We're cool. It's all right. I'll get to that later. How you like my coffee mug? I'll talk about that later. First, we're going to talk about Nellie Gorbea. She's the Secretary of State for Rhode Island. She came from Puerto Rico when she was very young and got involved in government. And so should you too. Because you may not take an interest in politics, but politics will take an interest in you. A little Q&A with Nellie coming right up. First, my mother gave me this coffee mug, and you know I love my coffee. It's beautiful, made by a Mexican artist. When I met my future wife, she had a mug made by the same artist. Different shape, kind of the same color. I recognized it right away, and I was like, that's magic. You got that mug, I got this mug, we should get married. Cool. Puerto Rico. Nellie Gorbea came from Puerto Rico. A lot of people think that Puerto Ricans are immigrants. They're not. They're U.S. citizens. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, and even though they're citizens, they don't get the right to vote. That's kind of messed up, if you ask me. I think they get one delegate in the House, and they get to caucus for nominees for president, and that's about it. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Here's our little chat with Nellie Gorbea. Tell us a little about your family heritage.
I'm originally from Puerto Rico. I was raised there and came over to the mainland when I came over for college. And as life would have it, met a guy, got married, and stayed on the mainland. And now I've lived in Rhode Island over 27 years.
What does your cultural heritage mean to you, and how has it impacted you?
Being Hispanic is a core of who I am. Being bilingual, being bicultural, helps me understand that the world can be seen in many different ways. And it's really a very rich treasure that I have.
Tell us what a typical day looks like as Secretary of State.
Typical day as Secretary of State. And it's actually one of the things that makes it very interesting. Because you wake up in the morning, and even if you think you know what your day is going to be like, it may not actually be that way. But the real joy is in being able to be in a position to actually make government work for people.
What drove you to get civically involved?
Yeah, I've been civically involved all the way back to high school. And I never thought that I would actually be running for office or elected, but I was always very interested in the world around me and improving the community around me. And I sought to do that whether I was in the private sector, in the nonprofit sector, or even as an appointee in the governmental sector.
What impact have you had on the community that you're most proud of?
I am really proud of the way that we've been able to change structures in government to make them more accessible here in Rhode Island. And particularly, for example, look at the area of elections, where we've been able to secure the elections, making sure that our cybersecurity setups are all, top-notch and really strong, but at the same time make elections and civic engagement much more accessible to individuals by making sure that we design everything around elections in a way that people can understand and feel that, this is my government, it's asking me to participate, I'm going to do that.
What's been the biggest challenge in your career, and how have you overcome it?
The biggest challenges are when you run into people who don't agree with you, right? And that's the heart of what government and politics is all about. And I always try to listen because there's always something that you can learn from listening to people who you don't agree with and they don't agree with you. Maybe there's a different way in which you can explain things, or maybe not. Maybe you'll just have to leave that one aside and pick another one that you're going to be able to work together on. But in government, you don't have so much more power over people. You actually just have the power to wheel and cajole others. And the sooner you realize that, the better off you'll be.
Who's someone that has inspired you?
You know, I'm inspired every day by the people I meet who are regular Rhode Islanders who are just trying to get ahead and making sure that the government, through the Department of State, is there as their partner, as their support, is a really wonderful thing to be able to do.
Do you have any advice for our viewers on the importance of civic engagement?
Civic engagement is key. We cannot change things unless people participate. When I ran, I was the underdog candidate. I was outspent. There was establishment figures that were aligned with my opponent. In the end, people voted. Every vote counted. And when I was elected, Rhode Islanders ended up electing the first Hispanic to statewide office in New England. And so civic engagement is what makes that change possible. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't happen in a way that you want all the time. And so you have to kind of be able to work yourself through those moments like we are right now as a country. It's very, very challenging. But the upside of it is that you're seeing a lot more civic engagement, particularly by young people, which is a really wonderful sight to see. And my job as Secretary of State is to make sure that they have the tools at their disposal to get their voices heard and understand how it is that you change government to improve society.
Muchas gracias, amigos y amigas.